it's me, Ghostface.
I'm a helpless teenager who is very concerned. Oh God, I forgot I have the audio on. I was wondering, I was I was wondering what you were doing while we were waiting. This whole time I was like, is she like fixing something or
I always forget that you can still see me on Discord, but like I just have it on Streamlabs, so all I see is starting screen. So you're probably seeing me going like this, like, oh yeah, getting ready, because I'm like I try to position so
100%? I was watching you the whole time.
it's like what a weird person. What did I get myself into? Thank you, the glass hammer. Too spooky. That was spooky, huh?
Honestly, I don't think people subscribed for that.
You know, I used to actually have a ghost face mask. I think it's still somewhere in South Florida. Um, all I remember of it is it just smells like plastic and hell.
Was it one of those ones that you could have like won at the carnival? Because I feel like I had like a rip-off ghost face mask.
No, I think I got this at one of those like when it wasn't a spirit house. It's probably Party Supermarket or Party City.
Party supermarket.
One of those parties. Yeah, that was the thing.
There's
Party Supermarket, right? There's Party Supermarket and Party City.
I knew Party City. I don't think I knew Party
I
Supermarket.
mean, it's like a supermarket for parties.
By the
Wasn't
way,
there?
I just have to say this,
Um,
Streamlabs is the worst thing that's happened to me on this podcast because I just can't stop correcting. I'm like realizing I'm like, oh, I have Jen off center. Let me transform while
oh,
we're
I do
talking.
that all the time.
Yeah, this is like the worst. I liked it so much more when you were just running Streamlabs and I got to just sit here and look pretty.
Right?
This sucks.
It is so hard when you have to be both tech and look pretty. It's easier to look pretty. So you're right. I don't think there really is a thing called Party Supermarket. I thought that was a real thing at some point.
Look, there is probably a small store somewhere called
Part,
Party Supermarket that is so happy that you are calling them out right now.
I'm looking at Party Supermarket in the 90s. Oh gosh, I might have been making this up. There's Party City and then Party.
Oh, I don't know that one either. Tell me more about Party.
It's hard to spell. It's a vibe. It's a feeling. It's a saying.
Yeah, here I thought we came to talk about the slasher films of the 90s, but instead, let us discover how many party stores were there because honestly, only the city remains.
That is true. Look, I just I'm proving myself correct. Party Supermarket was the thing, right? It rolls off the tongue, and that's where you could get ghost face masks. Woohoo, spooky.
You know,
No?
it's funny on the Instagram if you're looking at that, it only the letters really become visible, just his like eyebrows are, so it's just like it's like you're holding up his name.
Alright. For the now I feel like I'm about to show myself. There's a ghost! See the ghost? Woo! Scary! Ghost face! Did it show up now?
It did. I will say you knocked it out of the park this time.
Thank you. Wow, we have 6 viewers now. Is it because I showed my covered
Ghost
chest?
face. It's because you showed off your
Whoa!
ghost face.
What else is she gonna show? Do. Okay. But anyways, welcome to Retro Recall. We are going to discuss the fantastic 90s movies, teen slashers, and horror movies of the time that defined a generation of murder. Okay, Edric, you could take that. Party Supermarket was a thing. You can remove that word never. So it
Oh,
says
okay.
Party Super...
Yeah, so now you're offering notes to our fans.
Yeah, Edric writes, Party Supermarket was never a thing, dot, dot, dot. I just want to go ahead and edit it. So it says, we remove the word never, remove 2 of the periods, so it just says Party Supermarket was a thing.
Well, I guess if they would like to highlight that message, Do we have that? No, we don't have that yet. We need more followers. Get us more followers, and then you can highlight your messages here.
Edric says I'll see my way out. No, you're gonna see your way back in. Fix that.
You know what? I think we're opening the first party supermarket. We're just gonna have ghost face masks, and that's it.
That's all we can afford. But yeah. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I just opened up the stream on Twitch, and I'm just looking at what you got for us on the arcade here. Um,
yes.
First off, I love that you abbreviated. I know what you did last summer. But like that picture was all you needed. You didn't need to put anything. That picture is so,
It's
I feel like
iconic.
iconic. Yeah.
What are you waiting for, huh? Sorry, let me just spin my chair. What are you waiting for? I can't. I got a lot of wires. Uh, Jennifer Love Hewitt running around, screaming, "What are you waiting for?" Spinning. Beautiful. Sign me up.
Yeah. No, like legitimately, that was. Uh, were we talking about this in the last stream? I can't remember, but I was having a discussion more recently, and it feels like it was with you. Um, but that this movie, I Know What You Did Last Summer, was literally thrown together, like slapshod, just like shoved together because Scream was such a success,
Yeah.
and so they rushed it out. And so like I was looking that up and I was looking into more details on that, and like, yeah, apparently they really didn't have much of a budget either. Like it was really, that's why their killer was just a guy in a fisherman's hat and jacket with a hook.
That's.
Um
I mean, that is what I read. Yeah, the success of Scream. That Scream was the movie that rushed in this era that created the 90s slashers, 90s teen horrors. And that's what I read. And that I Know What You Did Last Summer came out not too far after. And it's like, what do we got?
yeah,
You got a hook? Maybe?
but like think about, so like both Scream, I guess what I've always wondered is, were those movies springboards for the actors that were in it, or were those actors already on their way up? Because both Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer were pretty jam packed with like people who became quite big shortly after.
Because, Edric says, ghost face mask shirt. Get yourself one, Coles.
Don't get yourself the mask itself, get yourself a shirt with the mask on it.
Get both. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Well, because Nev Campbell, what was she on? Party 5? Or was
Oh,
that
I guess
Jennifer
she
Love Hewitt?
was.
And well, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, she was in Buffy, but I can't recall if
Not
that
at that
was
point.
okay. No, that's what was going to be my question. I
That
couldn't
was
remember if it was
pre-Buffy.
and Ryan Felipe, was that before? What was it called? That movie with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selma Blair. Oh, what was it?
Oh yeah,
'Cause- and Reese Witherspoon.
oh my God.
Cruel
This
Intentions.
is retro, can't recall.
We gotta change our name.
Ooh, cruel intentions. If we ever cover that one, we're gonna have to do like like 2 a.m. podcast, because like that's 290 spicy.
Oh, that is. I mean, that had everybody. That had everybody that defined the '90s. Again, Selma Blair, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Felipe, Reese Witherspoon. That one extra in the background. Just everyone '90s.
Furry one.
But yeah, but I can't, because I feel like that was the movie that really threw Cruel Intentions. I feel like that really threw Ryan Felipe into the spotlight, but I don't know if that was before or after I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I don't know if they just were like, oh, let's just get these kids, or like what
Yeah.
propelled them.
So cruel intentions came after. So I will say that. Like
Okay.
that's what's so fascinating about these movies, is like it's almost like and we're going to talk a lot more, I'm sure, about Scream, because Scream in general like really deserves time.
Yeah.
But like I think Scream was such a surprise hit
Mm-hmm.
outside of the horror sphere.
Yeah.
Because like you and I both know like year-round horror fans, like the people who will go to like what's it, Spooky Con? Is that what it's called in Orlando?
Oh, I can't remember, but I've been there twice
Yeah, I think I've
accidentally.
been once.
I kind of walked into a hotel and I was like, "Oh, what is this?"
Oh,
But oh,
it's
what?
actually, I mean,
But it's
it's a
cool. It's
really
fun.
it's a cool convention if you like the horror celebrity sphere, if you like
Mm-hmm.
seeing like props, costumes, things like that. Like so
Yeah.
I used to sidetrack here. As you know, because you were in my life at this time, I used to work at Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh my god,
Like
yes.
just every year I would work there. Uh, and it was great. It's an awesome job for anyone who lives in Orlando who's just looking for a seasonal gig that you don't need to take too seriously, but you can really like work out some aggression. It's a really good job. You're on your feet and you get to like constantly move, but it doesn't pay great. Anyway, um, point being, I bring this up because a lot of the people I worked with there were those types of people who like you if you name drop Robert England, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Freddy Krueger, they of course they know him as Freddy, but they're also going to name like 20 other films that he's made an appearance in
Mm-hmm.
and like how it's referenced. Like there is a web of people who love horror, and Scream was loved by them and the mainstream,
Yeah.
which is rare, 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 rare for horror movies.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be like just a basically what your dumb high school slasher. Ooh, who's the cat? But it was such a phenomenon, and it was so
Yeah.
great. And and then I mean and I will say this, and this is not a spoiler or anything. I haven't seen the
I
last one.
think oh okay, I
I
was gonna
know
say I think we can spoil Scream.
it's past the expiration of spoiler alert date, but well, because I know the last one I saw was Scream 5. That
Mhm.
came out what, like 3 years ago. I haven't seen the new one, but I love that it's also so good, but it also knows what it is. And every single Scream that's come out since, again, I haven't seen the new one, so but I hear good things. They've been so freaking good. Scream 2 was good. Never mind. Scream 3 was a little. Scream. Scream.
Scream, yeah, no, Scream 2, spectacular.
I mean, Scream 3 compared to some other horror movie. I don't know what.
I mean, yeah, look, no, you and I both went to film school long enough to know that bad horror movies are a dime a dozen. There
Oh,
are
it's bad.
so many bad horror movies. Scream 3 is bad by comparison
My
to like Scream 1 and 2, not to the genre.
and the best part is 2 wasn't exactly iconic, but 3 makes it look like A plus.
Yeah.
Plus, in Scream 2, Sarah Michelle Gellar was in there, which is fun because I feel like during that time, much like everything, Lord of the Rings versus Harry Potter, NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys, I Know What You Did Last Summer versus Scream, and Sarah Michelle Gellar had a little dabble in both. And the Glasshammer says she's going Saturday to the con. Oh, that's freaking exciting. That's
Oh,
awesome.
what's the actual name of the con? Is it Spooky Con? Did I get that right?
And who, because don't they usually have like somebody or like certain guests like guest stars? Let
Oh,
us know.
always. They always have. I mean, I guess we could Google it. We could do our due diligence, but like, you know,
No. We got to make sure the Glasshammer is doing her due diligence.
yeah.
Tell us,
This-
Glasshammer. Um, well, you have to let us know. I know you're in our Discord, so you'll have to let us know how it is on Saturday, and if there's any cool pictures or anyone you meet, you have to let us know.
Yeah, if you want us to put some pictures up on the stream, we can totally do that.
Mm-hmm.
Including of your cat. We will put pictures of cats on the stream.
You have a cat?
Do you not have a cat?
I've never met the Glasshammer's cat. I have a
I
cat, but
mean, that's fair. Okay, you said it as if like you were envious of all cats.
no, I like
Do you have a
everybody else.
cat?
I like everybody else's cat. I don't like my cat.
Oh, I think that's everybody with their cats. Everyone else's cat is great.
I mean, I inherited mine through marriage, but we have issues. We both like my blanket, and he thinks it's his blanket. I think it's my blanket. We have a fight every night. It's been going on for the last 15 years, so
The answer is it is the cat's blanket. You are mistaken by assuming it is yours.
I know. Because every night I'm like, I go into bed and this is my blanket. And I feel like every night he thinks, this is my blanket and you come in here. But whatever. We're not here to talk about my cat. That
I
bastard.
could talk cats.
Mm. Well, you know what? No, I'm not going to go grab him. Maybe next time. His,
Next
na-
time. Next time.
his,
Well,
his name's Sylvester. He's a tuxedo kitty. And I like to call him Senor Gatito.
that's a good name.
Right? Mr. Kitty.
That's a good name for Sylvester.
Right? Okay, but back to the movies.
Back to the movies. Back to the movies. All right. So, first off, why do you think Scream popped into the pop culture? Why did Scream, cuz like slashers were dead. The slasher movies were oversaturated. The 80s killed them. Gen X consumed the hell out of slashers. So,
It's true.
why did Scream work?
It's true because there was a lot of Nightmare Before. No, Nightmare on Elm Street, right in
Yep.
the 80s. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was maybe because this was a slasher that felt maybe a little bit more real compared to Friday the 13th, compared to Nightmare on Elm Street, where it's like the thought that it's not some mystical, magical, weird creature that cannot die. It's a person that puts on a costume, and it could be your friend, it could be somebody you don't know, is killing you. And I think part of it too is the fact that there is not just one, right?
Hmm.
There was usually two murders. So I think it made it kind of more real, like anybody could kind of do this. And there's more than one killer. And of course the fun music of Scream.
Of
They had a
course.
good soundtrack, okay? But you know what I
No,
mean?
they legitimately had a good soundtrack. You should all look that up.
And I think they're also a little bit, like I said, I think what I appreciate about the Scream movies, they're a little bit more self-aware of stuff.
Hmm.
For example, what was his name? I forget his name. I thought it begins with an R, but Jamie Kennedy, right? That's the actor's name, Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that works at Blockbuster. Ralph,
Uh,
Rod,
no. Roddy? No.
Rodney, Ra- Roger. But his character,
Damn
right?
it. Yeah.
I was like, what? I'm going to look that up in 2 seconds. His character, right, works at the local movie store.
Yeah.
And so, his whole thing is like, this is how you survive in horror movies. You gotta be a virgin. You can't do this. Don't go alone anywhere. And so, all the horror movies up until that point, he kind of brings it all together, right? Laurie in Halloween, right? Jamie Lee Curtis's character, be a virgin. And every horror movie, don't go anywhere alone. And so I think it was, like I said, very self-aware. It's bringing about the idea of what you shouldn't do in horror movies. And at least in the first one, they kind of avoid that. But when they do it, it's kind of funny. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think it was just good. I
It
liked
was
it.
it was it was aware of the tropes, but they
Thank
weren't
you. Thank
making
you.
they weren't making a joke out of the monster, right? The monster, even though it was a real person, and that's what ultimately it is, they were always terrifying. They were never the joke of the trope, right?
Yes.
Like it was. I think that's the interesting line they walked is because like if I sat down and I tried to write Scream, right? Let's say it didn't exist and I just had the idea, same story, beat for beat, same story, but I'm in charge of writing out all the dialogue. I would genuinely struggle not making it a comedy completely
Yeah.
because but like Scream walks that line where it is absolutely a comedy. Hell, even the opening conversation of the movie with Drew Barrymore up until the point that like the chase actually starts
Yes.
is categorically funny.
Yeah.
It's a very funny scene, especially watching it knowing what is actually happening and what,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. Um, but yeah, it's somehow still utterly terrifying in the moment that you watch her realize, like, this isn't a joke. This isn't a game. Even though it sounds like a game, it sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. So I've always been fascinated because like I am not a big horror fan. I am a wimp with horror movies. I get absolutely frightened.
Mm-hmm.
And the scares stick with me. Jump scares don't do it to me. I'm not like scared of jump scares. It's the psychological stuff that like
Oh yeah.
gnaws at me. Oh, sorry. Did it
Right.
Any, I've seen your stream. I know how weak you are to jump scares. I get it, okay? I'm not not trying to. I think
Oh,
you literally released a promo video just of your screaming today.
I did. It was terrible.
Um, but yeah, I think, but it's also so interesting now that we've kind of done that. Another picture that you put on the arcade, Urban Legend.
Urban
Urban
Legend.
Legend does the same thing as Scream in a way, but veers so far away from the comedy. It is not
Oh,
being funny about it. It is being dead fucking
it
serious.
is. It's like we're Scream, but like no, seriously, legit. Which actually, so funny. Everything ties back to Scream
It does. It because
because
that's all of it, man.
what was her name? Rebecca Gayheart. From Urban Legend. That's the okay. Spoiler alert. Urban Legend. The curly hair girl that you see in the picture is the killer in Urban Legend. And if you're like, oh my god, you spoiled it for me, it came out in like 1998. Get over it. She was in Scream 2. She was one of the like sorority sisters trying to get Nev Campbell and I forget Nev Campbell's friend, but to join the sorority. And it's actually kind of funny that I see this. Every horror movie ties back to Scream because again, Rebecca Gayheart, Urban Legend, and Scream 2. Sarah Michelle Gellar from I Know What You Did Last Summer in Scream 2. Everything ties back to Scream 2.
And oh my God, Portia de Rossi is in Scream 2 and Arrested Development. So now we can tie Arrested Development into the Scream universe.
Which Sarah Michelle Gellar and Rebecca Gayheart are in. No, actually, I don't know. I've actually never really seen an episode of Arrested Development, just clips, but it looks funny.
Wow. You need to correct that.
Well, if that's the case,
You have a wonderful show in front of you that you will greatly enjoy
is
whenever
on
you get around to it.
is on Hulu.
I no, it's on Netflix because Netflix did 2 seasons of it.
All right, perf.
So then they distribute it. Yeah. So
But Urban
uh
Legend was I
I
thought it
I
was
think
good.
Urban Legends is underrated in my opinion. I think Urban Legends if you haven't seen it, the trick about Urban Legends is the killer is literally killing people and recreating these like old urban legend killers. So like I think she hangs someone above the a car. I can't remember what the curse was or the was it supposed to I can't remember now.
I can't remember what the
I
Urban
should have
Legend it was
rewatched
itself.
I should have rewatched that one because like that's that one absolutely freaked me out because I think if you really think about it, I think like if they pitched that meeting, it was, hey, what if those like campfire stories like happened though? And that was the whole movie. Like the
Yeah.
whole movie was just these campfire killings throughout, I think, a college.
Yeah. And I don't know what the Urban Legend itself was, but it was like something about like the hero, right? The Nev Campbell in the movie. Her and her friend were in a car and they got in an accident and killed this guy, and that was when they were like in high school, but then years later now they're in college and they're listening to all these like urban legends over the group of friends who are just urban legends, but then murders start happening. And yeah, that's Rebecca Gayheart's character. Murder. Rebecca Gayheart's character is the one behind it all, recreating these, because I think it was her fiance that got murdered in the accident.
Murdered.
So, but it's
Man,
such simple plots. You like, you killed my fiance. Your mom cheated with my dad. Right? That was Scream. Yeah.
was that Scream? Yeah, that is what that was. That was literally the point of Scream. Oh my
And
fucking god.
that's what we appreciated in the 90s.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything crazy. Not like, oh, I was, thrown in a like fiery hell. Oh no, like literally your mom is she cheated on my dad. Slash slash.
Yeah.
It's very
That
simple
was
revenge. The revenge was simple and that's what made it a chef's kiss.
but like so like yes, it was simple revenge, but like you also know that like these were I think I just realized why the teen slashers went away.
Because no one's as petty as they were in the 90s. Because, that was some petty
No.
shit back then.
I mean, look, it was petty, don't get me wrong, but like
That's why I loved it.
I think it's the fact, and this is a dark moment. Apologies, everybody. But like I think it stopped being fun imagining kids at school in danger.
Yeah. Things got
And
very real.
I think that's why teen slashers went away is because like in
Hmm.
the 90s, teen slashers were safe because teens felt overall safe.
Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, actually,
Interesting.
I mean, I could see that with
Yeah,
the.
because like imagine trying to make a movie now about like, oh, hey, this kid is gonna put on a big black cloak with a mask, and he's gonna be going around stabbing fellow students. Um,
And what's really sad is it's like, oh, that literally in real life has happened last week, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago,
yeah,
So it's like, it used to be just something that would scare you. Now it's like, oh, that's too real because it did happen.
yeah, man. Sorry, everybody. That went to a darker place. We're gonna bring it back. You know what? Here. I've got the perfect left turn. I've got the perfect left turn to bring us away from where we went. Because while Scream is great, it doesn't address the other fun side of the 90s slashers. And I'm talking the like Candyman side. I'm talking the Bride of Chucky. I'm talking Leprechaun 3.
Oh
I'm
my
talking like
god, yeah.
we had we had our like grunge side slashers as well, where it was mystical. There was something
Hmm.
supernatural about it, but like at the same time, these were real people, real lives now dealing with it. Or man, just like
Yeah.
especially so Candyman in particular. If you're looking at Instagram, you'll see a picture of him down underneath me. Candyman
Oh, yeah.
absolutely one of the most terrifying ones of the genre to me. I
I
like I don't think I could rewatch Candyman. I could. I could rewatch it, but it's it's there's
could I? Can
he is
I?
very convincing. I can't think of the actor's name. He is
Oh, I
I
see it
could.
now.
I could.
Okay.
Bees aren't as scary to me now.
Oh, bees have always been scary to me, but that pretty much was from Donkey Kong. So,
Yeah, well, that those were more like hornets, but I get what you mean. Yeah, his whole thing is he like bees pour out of him.
in
So like,
DKC2, I was in a level full of honey. There were bees.
oh,
I'm just kidding.
apologies.
But yeah, no, I've never actually seen Candyman, but I do recall like images, like trailers and stuff like that.
Tony
Leprechaun.
Todd, yes. Thank you. Sorry, I've just looked at the Twitch. Tony Todd.
Oh, why can't I see people talking? View.
I don't know.
I
How am I on top of this and you're not? Yeah, Tony Todd as the Candyman was terrifying. And because he's such a like he's a big guy. He's I don't know. Here, let's see how tall he is.
I'm gonna.
Oh, 6'5". I expected taller.
I sent a request to join, and I don't know why I can't. Okay, but yes.
To
Candyman.
join, wait, to join the Instagram?
I have no idea.
No one's talking on the Instagram. GZDR4Ev on Twitch. He's on the Twitch chats.
Oh, sorry. I looked up Tony Todd. Sorry, I was so busy looking at Instagram. Hi,
I'm watching
Forev.
both. I got both screens running.
Oh my gosh, I'm such a. Oh,
Ah,
I gotta get
this is
together.
what you
This
get
is
for having
funny.
a sunshine day.
Is this my first time on Twitch? Because
I think so.
get together for forever. Sorry, my bad. Um, but yes, I agree. There was that mystical, magicalness of the '90s. I mean, you had the wow, that's way too real. My boyfriend did it. Murder people and scream,
Sure.
and then yeah, or even simple. Wait, the guy in Candyman, he was in Final Destination because I was gonna say there's also that. It feels a little too real, but there's like a little bit of magic to it, like Devon Sawa getting a premonition, plane's gonna crash. Um,
Oh my God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
you know,
was in Final Destination.
yes, because he's the one who's talking about like how you don't escape death and stuff. And then I just remember watching that movie thinking, "Damn, death, chill." Like, why are you so obsessed with like these teens? Like the five that got
Because
away.
because you don't escape death. I don't understand the problem there. If
But
death wants you, you go with death.
okay, but if I was Devon Sawa, I'd be like, okay, then if I wasn't supposed to escape death, then I should have died, but I had a premonition which convinced me to get off the plane and along with my friends. So was that not fate? Was it not fate that I had the premonition to get off the plane? And so death,
No,
take a chill pill. Take a chill pill, death, because
that
that's
was
fate.
free will intervening with his job, and he
He had a,
hates when it
but he
happens.
had a premonition. He had a premonition. The plane was gonna
That's
crash.
not death's. That's not death's fault.
That's so that's fate's fault. Do we have
Yeah,
wait?
that's fate's fault. Hold on. Did you not watch Sandman? I thought you watched Sandman.
There's so many. There's so many horror movies.
No,
Can't keep up.
Sandman's not a horror movie. Sandman's a. I'll let Glasshammer explain Sandman. That's her bag, but it's also on Netflix, and it's very good.
Let's see. So okay, 4F says in Final Destination, Tony Todd told the kids how to cheat death
Yep.
by making sure everyone else died before it was their turn. Man, what a yeah. That's I do recall that, and God, how horrible would that be? Like, sorry, Dan, you gotta go first, but hopefully not because I know I'm next. Good luck.
I know that I'm gonna die, so I need to get them to die then instead.
But I also want to make sure they live because the longer they live, the longer I live because death is going to be focused on them a little longer.
Yeah, it's the
It's
perfect crime.
and this is why teens in the 90s had anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah, little did they know that like the real anxiety came later, but boy howdy, did we have some anxiety about cheating death. Honestly, how many times if you have seen I think it's Final Destination 3, or maybe it
Ooh.
was 2, or maybe it's even 1 and I'm just misremembering all of it.
Okay.
Um anytime I drive behind a truck with like pipes
This
on the
too.
back, those two. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm gonna get into the other lane.
Yes, pipes and I think any truck
Rebar
that's
and
carrying lumber because
yep,
like at
I'm
the
just like,
yeah.
nope.
Because at two, I think the beginning scene is like a giant truck, and the lumber falls out, causes the accident. But yeah, towards the end, when they're in the car, there is that pipe that comes in, like gets that woman.
Yep. Nope.
I think the same thing,
No, thank you. Let's just no, thank you.
and that's how I'm like, I swear, I hope this is not my final destination because I saw the movie and I know not to be behind it before this happens.
Oh my God, see, and that's what's so unfair because aren't we always cheating death? Our
Right?
very existence is a cheating death.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Every single time I eat and I
Are we
don't
getting
choke.
philosophical? Yeah, right? Like our very existence is literally our evolution is we have learned how to cheat death and we keep passing cheat sheets forward.
Oh God, now that's freaky.
Our immune system is literally constantly fighting death off.
Right. Well, every single time I go and open my closet and I hope nothing sharp is in there to kill me, I cheat
Yeah,
death.
you cheat death.
I cheat
We're
death.
always cheating death. I have to ask. I'm so sorry because like I know we literally have like still half the time left, but I want to make sure we also talk about this other side of the genre, which is like you put it there as Halloween H2O, but I'm thinking of it more as when these 80s franchises got in on the 90s franchise and tried
Mm,
to adapt. And I already mentioned Bride of Chucky, but I kind of include that in there as well.
yeah.
But like Bride of Chucky, Halloween, like these established magic monsters,
Hmm.
trying to come in and do a human story. So why did you put Halloween? I gotta know, because I hated H2O. I gotta say it. I
Okay.
hated H2O.
I will defend my statement. Hi, I'm Jenny, and I will defend my statement. I will first off say thank you so much for being here with me tonight, Dan. I'm just kidding. And
I
the
was trying to
glass.
disappear, but I don't know how to do it.
I'll just say the glass hammer says the shower curtain strangling the person in Final Destination. Yeah, that's what I think about every single time I get my shower, and I hope it's not me. Um, that's why I have nothing that can strangle me. Goodbye, Dan. But Halloween H2O, so that came out, I think, what, 19... let me look it up, actually, real quick. Because that
I think
wasn't...
99,
Halloween H2O,
98.
H2O came out 1998. And so, right there, off the bat, it was in the 90s. 98 counts as a slasher. The movie was supposed to be 20 years after the original, so it was like the 20-year... Yay! Um...
Sure.
And
Heads H2O.
And at the time, they were showing all the big names of the teen heartthrobs. They had Josh Hartnett. They had Michelle Williams from Dawson's Creek, the blonde
Yeah.
chick, and honestly, those are the only
Jamie
two.
Lee
Well,
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, obviously. They had,
Always a smokestack.
I swear, they had some other. Was it? Oh gosh, who was it? They had. Okay, let me actually look it up. Halloween H2O cast, because they had a bunch of basically your 90s heartthrobs. So, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, LL Cool J.
That's
Um,
right. He play a security guard?
yes, he did.
Like the campus security
And I'm
guard?
pretty sure he lived very much like in Deep Blue Sea. But so it had.
Damn, LL, good job.
He is surviving every horror movie.
Ooh, we'll have to talk about 90s disaster films next. Anyway, sorry. Act of God films.
Actually, should we just go ahead and just say, can we just discuss 90s LL Cool J movies?
First, if we're going to talk about LL Cool J, we have to actually say what LL Cool J stands for. You know what that stands for, right?
I don't know, but Mama said knock you out. So I'm gonna knock
Uh,
you out. Okay,
it's
actually, I don't know.
Ladies Love Cool J.
It's not wrong, because
No,
I agree. As a lady,
it's on the money.
I didn't know that, but as a lady, I do love LL Cool J. But yeah, like yeah, so I think that's the reason why I put Halloween H2 on there because
Cool James. Sorry, I looked it up to clarify. It's Ladies Love Cool James.
oh, like Hot James, like
No one likes Hot James. James Marsden. We hate him.
oh James Marsden.
Wait, wasn't James Marsden in a 90s
Disturbing
slasher
behavior.
film? Yeah! Holy shit! Good catch!
See,
I
they
can't
all
believe
tie
you
in.
got that.
They all
Like, oh
tie
my
in.
god.
But
No, I'm just blown away that you pulled that name like right out of thin air. Like I kind of want to do that more. Paul Rudd was in one. Which one was Paul Rudd in?
the Leprechaun with
Damn it,
Jennifer
yeah,
Aniston.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it was.
I'm like, duh. What else you got?
That blew my mind. I'm sorry. I'm still just like
Um,
trying to think of other actors that I know that we haven't covered yet.
I may not know a lot, but I know some things, and I know James Marsden. But yeah, Halloween H2O.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, that's a good tie, right? was from the 70s, 80s, and I did love Josh Hartnett, so I needed to make sure he's on there.
Yeah, no, and look, I'm not saying the actors in it were the problem. I just think I've never liked Halloween. I don't think I've ever liked any of the Halloweens. And I'm gonna look, it's for one very simple reason, and I can't look past it, which is they they always start twinkling that fucking piano right before he shows up. So like any suspense is just gone for me because for me, and I don't know why, but that little like do, 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 do,
I can,
do, do, do,
as I can hear
it,
it when now that you said that, like the.
yeah, but they always do it, and like in my head, I'm just like, this is fucking comical. Why is no one laughing? This guy is like so stupid because of it. Like you're making him like
Be
ridiculous to me.
because it's all about the suspense of the music probably coming for you. Then Michael Myers.
Silence is the way to build the suspense. Build down to a mute and stay muted. That's why, and this is absolutely not a 90s slasher, but this is the best horror film that has been made in, I'd say, my lifetime. And that is The Descent.
I have.
That is a movie that plays with silence really well.
I have not seen it. It is on Netflix. I have seen that it is on Netflix. The last couple nights I've been watching Bye Bye Man. It follows Ouija, the origin of evil, but I have not gone to the descent yet.
Put The Descent on your list. Put Descent high on your list, and I am telling you, I I put that higher than Scream. I put it
Okay.
higher than Scream. It is a more terrifying concept, and it is very haunting. And it is just a well done horror movie.
It's just a good feel good movie, family.
You're gonna love it. It's about an adventure.
It's just an adventure with yourself, friends. Are there other people in there? Is it with friends?
It's with friends.
It's,
It's
it's
yeah.
just a feel good buddy comedy with friends
Did you ever see that Britney Spears movie Crossroads? It's like that,
with a little more screaming
with just some screaming and some blood.
and just maybe one or two deaths tops. Five. I can't tell.
Maybe eight. Hey, I just want to say, by the way, also, we earned one more subscription during this podcast tonight. I noticed
Whoop,
our number
whoop.
went up tonight, so I
Oh.
have to assume that that's all right. I'm gonna go.
Hey, it's
Uh,
on Instagram. Thank you for our sub. Thank you to our sub.
Geese Doctor for Ev. Thanks for the sub. I have to assume
Ah,
it's you, and I like you.
thank you so
Um,
much for that. Appreciate it. I should say we
anyway,
appreciate it, but
no, you appreciate it. I
I
already said my appreciations. Do not speak for me. I speak for myself. Good day.
okay. I said good day, sir. Um, but oh, you know what? Actually, something that popped in my head because I know we talked about what made Scream so scary, and then we started talking about like this mystical, magical aspect of the '90s with Final Destination premonitions. I don't think we mentioned this, but idle hands, devil's shit. But you know what made Scream also kind of fun? That I think what makes it kind
Right
of
back to Scream.
right. I gotta tie it back in, which set it apart from so Halloween, right? There's like what 10 Halloween movies, and the bad guy is always Michael Myers. I don't hate Michael Myers. I love him. He's not as funny as
Sure,
Mike Myers,
sure.
but still fun.
Yeah,
Um,
baby.
and same with
Ugh.
Friday 13th. Jason is always the bad guy. So you're always like, God, how is this guy not dead? Didn't we just like light him on fire last movie? Didn't we decapitate him last movie? But what I
Yeah.
appreciate about Scream is they keep the suspense alive of no. The bad guy is human. The bad guy has nothing magical about him. So what
Could
the
literally be anyone with a grudge.
exactly? So it's kind of like a who done it. So that adds that little mystery to it. Like, oh, who do you think is the killer? Do you think it was Deputy Dewey, who's finally lost it? Do you think it's Randy?
Yes.
It was Randy. That was his name. Randy.
Good job. Good job.
You know, or like, you know, then like for example, it's in the second movie, it's like the guy in the classroom, and I forgot the boyfriend's name from the first movie. But
yeah.
Oh, come to me in 45 minutes.
Sure. It'll be after the stream. It'll hit us both.
It was Randy's friend. But the mom, right? The mom of the boyfriend from the first movie. So it's like, yeah, you killed my son because my husband cheated on me with your mother, and I got this kid who has an impressionable mind to slaughter for me. So I did appreciate in the Scream movies, we're just kind of like, how are we going to tie this all together? Like,
yeah.
It's never the same killer.
Well, it's never the same killer, but it's always the similar motivation.
Yes. And...
Right? And the same, like, circle of people.
Yeah, exactly. And I do want to say, Forev, thank you for correcting me there, because in all the Friday the 13th...
That's right.
Except one, right? The killer was Jason's mom, which I'm pretty sure they brought up in Scream. Where they're like, you're wrong. I think it was Scream 4 where that was the question. Who was the murder? But you are absolutely right. The killer in the original Friday the 13th was Jason's mom, who was mad at the camp counselors for letting her son die. See, I would die. I would die in Scream 4 because I'd be like, it's always Jason.
See? Yeah, you would have been... Man, and actually, as you put that, I realized, I mean, like, granted, she was creepy, but, like, it was nothing, like, mystical.
Mm-hmm.
When did Jason become mystical? Did I miss it? Because he went to space.
He went to space. Hell, he fought Freddy Krueger.
He did. In a comic book. In a comic book that was supposed to be a movie, but they ended up making it into a comic book, Freddy, Jason, and Ash from Evil Dead fought. It was a great comic book.
What? Oh my gosh, I do love the Evil Dead series. It's been forever since I saw the original Evil Dead 1 and 2, but Army of Darkness is always on my list for every October.
That's a good one. Did you watch the Showtime series Ash vs. the Evil Dead?
No. Oh, and I didn't love me Bruce
good.
Campbell. I think I wanted to, but where did you say it was on? Because I think I didn't.
It was Showtime, so like I also couldn't watch it easily at that time. I don't know where it is now.
It's lost somewhere out there, but I think that
he did go to Manhattan and ride the subway. Jesus Christ! Sorry, I'm just Jason.
Jason has lived such a full life, and I'm a little jealous because for a slasher, I've never been to space or hell or not even Manhattan's subway.
Have you not ridden the subway in Manhattan?
No, I've never been to Manhattan.
And that's why you don't have to worry that you've cheated death yet. If you haven't ridden the subway in New York, you haven't cheated death.
This is why I can never be a killer in a movie, because I've done none of this. Yes, Glasshammer, shop smart. Shop S-smart.
Shop S-smart.
I love that.
You know,
this
it's so
is
funny.
My boomstick. Okay.
There was a complete sidetrack into this, but actually still kind of fits in. If you didn't know, there was an Evil Dead musical.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah. So there was an Evil Dead musical. I was such a fan of, not really the musical. Like, the music is okay at best. Mm-hmm. At best. But, like, the concept of an Evil Dead musical where they spray the audience with blood. I was literally so obsessed with the concept that, like, broke College Dan, me and I think our friend Lydia, we literally bought tickets to Toronto, the only city where the show was going on, just to go see Evil Dead the musical. And boy howdy, was that a fun time. I still have the shirt that's stained with blood. It was great.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So Evil Dead the musical, I'm sure the music's out there on iTunes. You can guess where they would spray you with blood. It's pretty good.
That is fantastic. Well, damn. I wish they had it recorded to watch.
You know what? They probably do have I honestly, they probably do at some point, somewhere. No, I've brought it up a few times, and we've not actually gone into it. I will not have this podcast end without us actually talking about Jennifer Tilly in Bride of Chucky.
Yes.
I love Jennifer Tilly in general, so like that movie, I was such a huge fan. It did not age well, I will say that right now. It, it's awkward, but man, what a what a weird film. They did not do a great job walking the line between horror and comedy. That is more of
Oh,
a comedy.
I think they just knew what they were going to be, right? The original Chucky was actually, it was very scary. And I think at this
Yeah.
point they're like, screw it. Let's just, we're going to have the girlfriend. She's going to become a doll. Right? That's what it is. I can't
Yeah.
remember. It's been many,
She
many years since I watched it. But Jennifer Tilly
she
is so
becomes
funny.
she becomes a doll as well. Then they're cursed together, and then I think in the sequel they have a kid somehow. I don't know.
I do recall, like, it's been so long since I've seen that movie, but I just remember that apparently they had, like, sex. And,
Oh yeah.
like, just her, be like, as a doll smoking. It's just like, I think I
It
was,
was I feel like they understood what like the Jason films didn't. I'm going to compare Jason to Chucky in this one, like the Jason in the 90s and early 2000s.
Mhm.
They knew that audiences weren't going to take their villain seriously anymore.
Yeah.
They knew at this point they were the butt of the joke, so they were like, "All right, we're going to be the cruelest joke." Like what we're going to just lean into the joke and we're going to make this like the most sadistic joke that we
Hmm.
we can make. It's from '88, but my favorite funny scary Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's a
Killer
great one.
Clowns. Oh my gosh, that was childhood staple. Absolutely. Actually, I think it was a 20, was it 2018? I think it was 2019. It was in 2019. They had Killer Clowns on Amazon, and I kept watching that over and over again because I hadn't seen it in years, and I was so excited that finally Amazon had some legit scary movies. Like even right now, they don't really have anything on
No.
Prime. They never do. All the scary horror slashers are going to come out November 1st. Every Scream movie, everything. But I remember they had Killer Clowns and I watched it nonstop. It's, it's such a good movie. Cheesy as F, but
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Heard of it,
Oh
never
yeah.
saw it. Wait till November 1st, they'll probably be it back out.
It'll be everywhere available. Look, it's if you go into it with the right mindset, it's a spectacular film.
Yeah.
If you're going into it looking to be scared, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, the name of the movie, right? Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's basically all you need to know. They're
Yeah.
clowns that basically crash landed on Earth from outer space, and they are murderous. And it's like up to like some cop and I don't know what, a kid or just some people to stop it all.
Someone has to stop it.
The title
Someone
explains
has to love me best.
the, the birdcage.
Yeah.
Somebody has to love me best. Wow, that could be a podcast right there. But yeah,
That's a
it's a good.
common quote in my household between my wife and I. So,
I love it. I love it. My friend and I, we quote the birdcage all the time. So,
well, add me to the list. I will quote
oh my
Birdcage with you,
gosh,
literally. In fact, we're going to do a Birdcage
we
retro
have. I
recall. That's
freaking love
going
it.
to happen.
What appear in tablets? It's okay. It's just aspirin with the A and the S scraped off. I love it. That's right. They were. That's right. They wrapped people in cotton candy and drank their blood. Wild. It's great, Forev. You should watch it as soon as it's back out on Amazon or Netflix or anywhere on Hulu, wherever it's streaming.
Really, yeah. Wherever it might be streaming near you.
Well, we have a few more minutes left of our podcast. So for those in the chat and then also for Dan, I'm just curious. I have two questions.
Yeah.
I want to know what everyone's favorite horror movie, what's your favorite scary movie, was during that time in the 90s, and who do you think was the ultimate scream queen? So it's a two-part question.
Ooh.
This sounds like an essay. What was
No,
your
that's a good question though.
What's your
So
favorite?
I
Yeah.
huh.
What's your
I
favorite
think
scary movie and your favorite scream queen and why? I want a 2-page essay on it. Don't double space it for me.
what about the margins? Am I allowed to play with the margins?
Fine.
So I think my favorite horror movie of that time. God, that's tough because like Army of Darkness was not 90s, right?
No. Well, I think
Was that
maybe the
it
evil.
was either really early. Oh, you know what?
Here.
Actually, a movie that I have not brought up yet, um, that has not been spoken about yet, that isn't really a slasher, actually. It doesn't fit the slasher mold, but it is a 90s horror, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
That's a real good one.
Quentin.
Okay.
Quentin.
Quentin Tarantino, George Clooney,
No,
Selma Hayek.
his name's
I
Quentin
think
now. Uh,
I think Robert Rodriguez directed that one.
I think so. Army. By the way, Army of Darkness was 92, so you're not too far off.
Okay, well, Army of Darkness is absolutely my favorite 90s horror film,
Mm-hmm.
but I almost don't even consider it a horror. I kind of consider it just an action comedy.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, you know what? I gotta give it to Scream. I gotta give it to Scream. Scream is the first horror movie I think that opened my tolerance to horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't before that point, I really didn't like horror movies at all.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. And Scream was the first one where I was like, oh, it scared me, but I get it, and I like that, and I want to watch more movies like this now.
Yeah. Hey, that makes sense. Cooter FL says Scream as well. The Glass Hammer says Final Destination for their favorite
Yeah,
scary movie. That's a good one.
Final Destination's a good one.
I'll probably go
But
with
as for
Scream
Scream
2.
Queen, oh,
Oh,
sorry,
no.
you as well?
Yeah, I would say Scream. I said Scream 2, but I meant TOO, not Scream 2. Yes, I think Scream out of like 90s
Although Scream 2
slasher.
is really good as well.
It is. It is. Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers. Perfection. And
Absolutely.
honestly, the only reason I enjoyed Scream 3, what as much as I did not enjoy it, but Courtney Cox with what's her name? I forgot the other actress name who was playing Gail Weathers. Jennifer something. Basically, you had two Gail Weathers in Scream 3. That's what
I don't
saved that
remember
movie. Oh, what's her name? But it doesn't matter.
I don't think I remember Scream 3 that well, though.
As well as you probably shouldn't. But I will say for Scream 3, the only thing that saved that movie was the fact that Courtney Cox was showing back up as Gail Weathers, and it was about making a movie Scream, and the person that played Gail Weathers in the movie, them two together.
Yeah. I do remember what you're talking about now. I did see that.
Oh, I forget her name, Jennifer something. But okay, but now Scream Queen. What do you think? And you two guys in the chat, who is the ultimate Scream Queen?
I was gonna say Jennifer Love Hewitt, but like not really because of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like the sequel, she was better. The first one, she was kind of dry.
Yeah.
Um, I always felt like she kind of survived just because she survived. You know what? Hell, ooh, I was about to say I kind of want to give it to Neve Campbell because she's the like ultimate survivor, but no, I just saw Glass Hammer's answer, and I got to agree. I may not like Michael Myers that much, but Jamie Lee Curtis is the Scream Queen, no question,
Oh yeah.
hands down. Like she took that title and has literally reclaimed it decade after decade for me.
And that's what she does. She's
That's
like
what she does.
she's like 90s Halloween H2O, 2000s Halloween something.
Well, I mean, she also was in the show Scream Queens,
Oh,
which I
that's
don't think
true.
I ever finished that show, but like it was really good. I was actually really enjoying it.
Yeah, I do have to admit she is the ultimate Scream Queen.
If I take her out as a technicality, though, if I say like, well, she started in the 70s, I think I'd give it to Neve Campbell because like she started as like as clueless as you get in like the why she was being targeted or why this was
Yeah.
happening. And she picked up quick. She was like one of the quickest witted um victims.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I feel
Sorry, I was just reading that you got killer clown cups.
we did, and I still have that. Every once in a while, I'll pick out my killer clown cup and I'll drink out of it. We got it
And
was
you
a
didn't bring it on the stream.
I just well I didn't think about it. It was one of
You'll
those
have to bring it
Halloween
next
Horror
week.
Nights cups,
Oh, one
and
of
when Killer
those
Clowns was a house
fancies.
there.
I
Um,
don't think I lived in Orlando that year. I think I had been gone at that point.
you missed out.
I
Such a
know.
it was a good
I
that was a good house.
I miss my favorite that I ever did. I was in this really, really crappy, like they didn't have the budget for much of a house. And it was called Creatures. That was the name.
Sounds
Creatures.
familiar.
The premise was it was a 1950s sci-fi film
Yeah.
where an alien crash landed in like a small hick town, and the rednecks were fighting back against the aliens, and not doing so well. And I was in that house. I was the bartender in the first room. I was one of the only surviving humans in the house.
Uh,
And my whole job was just to pop up from the bar and slam a bottle down or slam something down and make a noise, scare people, and then basically for like 2 minutes just insult everyone walking past me. Just make fun of people for what they're wearing, what they're doing, what like as long as it wasn't anything completely inappropriate. But
yeah. No, and
oh, best.
I don't recall you there, and I because maybe I went on a different night, but I do remember that house. I do very much remember going to that creature's house.
If you were at Horror Nights a year that I was there, I guarantee you I made sure to like text you and be like, let me know when you're going and I'll make sure I was at the house.
I do remember Texas Chainsaw Massacre
I
because
did do that. Yep.
you pulled me out of the line, and I will never forget because we knew each other. They, the actors can't touch you, but because we knew each other and we were talked
Mhm.
about, I just remember the little girl behind me going, They can't do that, right? They can't just grab you," and I just disappeared into the abyss.
That was always my favorite and always encouraged by my higher ups. I don't know if they do that anymore. I don't know if that
Mhm.
really was okay, but like my stage managers were
Yeah,
always just like, yeah. If you know the person, grab
scared.
them, pull them backstage for a couple seconds. It's a great scare.
And I just remember my friend, because
Maybe not backstage, but pull them. Like you can interact.
yeah, and my friend, because I think it was just her and I that night we went there, and we had imbibed, and I just remember her like as I hear the little girl screaming, "They can't do that!" Holly, my friend Holly, she's just like, "Oh, I should probably go," and she followed right behind. She just like walks.
Yep. I I guess Jen's dead.
Gotta see what happened to that body. Better pull it out.
Yeah,
Hopefully she's
see,
fine.
and
I'm gonna grab another brewski after this. You good? Wake up.
like at creatures, I wouldn't have been able to do anything like that anyway, because like
Hmm.
literally, so this is the part that sucked about it is I was an insult comic for like 30 minutes at a time, but I was also in a room where my only exit were the people I was insulting. Like that's where so like it was just me behind a bar against a wall, just hoping people didn't get angry. And some did. Some chucked things right at my head, or I think one guy like grabbed me and tried to pull me over the bar, but didn't realize how big I was, and I pulled him right back. That was a good time.
That's so
Oh
great.
yeah. Yeah. Halloween Horror Nights, the job where you'll get punched in the face a few times.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hopefully they had insurance.
yeah, that was okay. Sure.
Universal's like, go on, Jen and Dan, keep talking.
Keep
Nothing.
talking.
We love Universal. Please
No, Universal doesn't
sponsor
encourage
us.
that to happen. What happens is drunk people get scared and they have knee-jerk reactions and they hit you in the face a lot. But if someone is malicious, Universal is very responsible about that and is very good about like trusting their actors. And I have seen many drunk people getting very, very arrested at the end of houses for stupid things they've done.
And that's why we love Universal.
Yep. Anyway, but on that note, I realize we've kept people here 7 minutes late to
Yeah.
be off subject.
So we'll not give you back your time. Or some how they always finish in
God,
meetings.
no. No, don't do it. I'm not at
Oh,
work.
well, we'll give you 2 minutes back.
But
Thanks.
I'll get you 5 minutes of your time back.
Yeah, we took 7 of those minutes. You're welcome. Um, but yeah,
Hey, speaking of seven, we hit 7 subscribers on Twitch.
whoop. Or
Well,
on Twitch or Instagram.
tell on Twitch. On Twitch, we just hit a 7. Yeah. Yeah, we should be playing music. We just don't have music. But let's tell them how to follow us.
Okay,
Put up them tags.
I'll put up them. Oh gosh, I really got to do the Tiki Talk one.
The tick. Oh no, TikTok. That's that one. We got to figure out how
wow.
to grow that guy. We don't know how that one's gonna grow.
Oh my goodness, hold on. This is actually retro. Oh, God, I forgot to. I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs, but every once in a while, even though I'm like logged in, it will be like, oh, you still have to sign in, kind of, if you want to do a Everyone hold it. Dan, entertain them for a minute.
Hey guys, fun little trivia for you. Do you know that Wes Craven and Wes Anderson are not related, even though their names are both Wes?
Do better.
Oh, okay. So hey, there's a really great video game that you guys should check out called The Quarry. It's starring Ted Raimi and what's his face? Dewey from Scream. What's his face, Jen?
David Arquette.
David Arquette. David Arquette. Oh, okay, good. Whew, thank you, Glasshammer. Oh man, what scary movie genuinely scared me? The Omen. But that's because I watched The Omen way too early. I watched The Omen when I was like 10. I don't think I should have done that. So that one really got me.
I would say anything that deals with oh, there we go. Demon stuff terrifies me. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. That one scared me.
I am more scared
Oh,
of
the
the like.
Ring. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the Ring.
The Ring
Yeah,
was
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm more scared. I'm more scared by like the evil of man type stories, right? Like Saw, where it's like one just very deranged person doing all of it, kind of thing. Like Saw disturbed me, which I think is the best thing a horror movie can do.
Oh, for sure. Man, The Ring, though. That was a good one. I totally forgot about
Yeah,
that movie. But because that's kind of up there to me, like that creepy. But yeah, Saw, Hotel.
Hostel,
Oh, yeah, Hostel. I said Hotel. Hostel, I've never seen that one either.
Hotel.
Hotel Green Inferno. The Ring scared me up until we got to the part where the projectionist had accidentally spliced a section upside down. Instantly stopped being scared. Oh,
Yeah, I could see that.
I'll say, and okay, not to keep anyone too long, but the scary movies, like literally the name Scary Movie, that they were all making jokes about Scream and The Ring. I don't know if you ever saw those movies with oh God, I can't remember anybody's name. She used to be married to Chris Pratt. But the movies that are literally, they're called Scary Movies with the Wayne brothers.
Yeah. Scary movie.
I always think about Scary Movie 3 when she's like, Sydney, the TV's leaking.
That's
Now the
pretty
white
good.
girl to fall down the well because and the girl's coming out. I love that. Oh, such a good movie.
Scary movie's never good, but like it's always good.
Yeah.
It's charming in its own way. Also really bad. Use my
So,
strong hand.
Scary Movie 2 is
Um,
so funny too.
Other really good scary movie. If someone wants to watch a '90s horror film from Japan, Audition
I
will
heard
creep you
that.
the hell out.
I,
That's a spooky movie.
I had a friend tell me about that movie, but we never watched it. When I was in film school,
Yeah,
they're like, "You're in film school, you'll like this."
yeah. And I think I know which friend recommended it to you too, because I think he said the same thing to me. So,
That jerk. Uh,
any hoozle. All right.
13 Ghosts. Oh my god, we could go all night. That was a good one. I did love
That's a good
13
one.
Ghosts with the Shannon something. Was that her name? And then that guy from that show. I see their faces.
See, I don't have any quick recall on this.
Okay.
This is supposed to be this is your territory.
Her name is Shannon. She was in American Pie, and then the dad was the guy from Galaxy Quest. Monk! Thank you! Yes, he was the main character in the show Monk. I couldn't think about it. And Shaggy, yes.
Tony Shalhoub.
Tony Shalhoub, yeah. Because I was like, okay, I can't even think of the show. It's like a detective show. He's like super OCD, but all I can think of is him in, Galaxy Quest and Men in Black. Number one.
Yeah.
For like 5 minutes. But
Barely,
thank you.
barely
Thank you,
in
the
it,
glass
but he is in
hammer.
it.
Thank you, the glass hammer. Okay, I'm done. I'm done keeping everybody here.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Oh, we lost a subscription. We're down to 6 now. Jesus Christ, this is what you did to us. You've kept us on too long.
It's because I can't remember Tony Shalhoub's name. Did Paranormal Activity scare you?
Tony Shalhoub unfollowed us. Oh wait, didn't he die? I think he died.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I think he did die.
No, he didn't.
No, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole.
Oh, no, but did Paranormal Activity scare you? I never saw the Paranormal Activity movies. But...
I don't think I did either. I don't know if I ever did.
Again, anything that is devil ghosty, I'm sure if I watched it, especially because it's supposed to be more like realistic, like webcam.
Yeah. Tony Shalhoub is not dead. I looked it up. I confirmed it. He's not dead.
How dare you? God, that's...
Sorry.
That's scarier than Paranormal Activity. But all right, we will head out, and we're going to be back next Thursday talking about...
Oh yeah, we're doing
No,
we're doing Halloween costumes. We're going to talk about who wore the best shit in these Halloween movies we remember. So we're going to be going through like this is where we're putting Hocus Pocus against Scream, and we're going to be like talking about like the looks, the feel, and the fashion of the 90s. But also that, just in general, this is the last one of our Scaretober this year, and I felt like it should be a grab bag of like let's just really like hash out some horrors. So I figured it was just going to be like the equivalent of sitting down and eating all of your candy up until midnight, and just talking about whatever you really want to talk about.
Are you gonna wear a costume?
I could wear a costume.
I'm wearing a costume. You should wear a
I'm
costume.
gonna wear a costume.
Okay,
I'll wear a costume.
Okay. And you guys should wear a costume too, even though we can't see you. It'll be fun.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. We're gonna have a little retro recall costume contest next week. Tune in. It's gonna be great, and Jen probably won't wear the Ghostface shirt again.
Bye-bye.
I'm muting now.
I'll leave now. Oh, Amityville Horror. That's a good one. Okay. Good night, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and just put our ending soon on. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, and chat with us. Bye-bye. See you next week.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. I'm waving like a madman.